Hey, all my brothers, all my sisters, all my kings and queens. It's your boy Mduduzi coming back to you with another video. Today is Thursday, the 21st of August, 2025, baby. You know, the watch is saying 5 minutes, almost 5 minutes, maybe like 4 minutes past 5 p.m. My watch is 5 minutes ahead. But anyways, as you can see by the topic, you have to be all in with God or for God. I don't know how I'm going to title it. But yeah, I hope the Holy Spirit guides me on this one. I'll start it, Cha. You know, I won't lie. Right now, I'm feeling very good because I really, it comes from washing dishes, funny enough. I had taken a shower at the gym and went straight to work. So cleaning out my gym bag, cleaning out my work bag, just making sure everything is in order. I know when I finish here, I'm going to have to go do my shoes. I normally wash my shoes every time I wear them. I've got almost 10 pairs. I'd say 9 because I don't count the shoes I gym with, right? So almost 9 pairs. I try wash my shoe every time I wear it. But yeah, now I've got like 3 shoes, including these ones that I'm wearing today. Today I've got the polos on, you feel me? Head to toe polo. Yeah, but I say all that to say you have to be all in with God. And what I mean is all those activities, they help me be productive, right? As well as focus. And one thing I've seen in my day-to-days is that I am not focusing on what I need to focus on like I should be. And I think that's the important part, like I should be. Because yes, I have a job, I'm working. Yes, I read the Bible. I haven't been praying as much these days, but I stay in prayer. I say as much because when I think of praying, the Bible says in 1 Thessalonians 5:17, if I'm not wrong, pray without ceasing, right? So that's for me, that's where I feel like I've been falling short, is just to be praying throughout the day, because I used to be on that. But yeah, it's like, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, but I was saying, in terms of doing what I need to be doing, like, I won't lie, man, these past couple of days, even though I've been going strong on my semen retention journey, right now I'm on today is day 14, right? The second week by the grace of God. But yeah, like when it comes to all other aspects of life, I set values for myself. And my 4 values that I'm currently following is: number 1, I am committed. Number 2, I am healthy. Number 3, I am reliable. Number 4, I am a risk taker. I feel like for me, these are the values that I want to practice and I want to take seriously in my life right now. And they cover a vast number of other values. Like, for example, being committed, then you are loyal, right? Which means the same thing, but I'm also thinking of the word integrity when I say I'm committed. If I say I'm committed to not smoking, that's a value I have for myself, but it will show and it will strengthen my integrity because I have to just stay committed to not smoking as I've set out. I've been lacking on these, right? Especially the committed ones, and specifically there's a couple areas I want to be committed. Reading my Bible, I want to read 3 chapters a day, which sounds little, but you get those chapters, you know what I'm saying, where it's like 2 pages for 1 chapter. So it can get draining. It really can. You know what I'm saying? I'm someone who read the Bible for a long time. I'm happy that, first time reading the Bible, I used to be sleepy a lot. And I feel like that's an evil spirit, or I was spiritually weak. So I've gotten past that point, but I still feel fatigue, right, while I'm reading. I want to read another book, which is self-development, whether it's an audio book or an actual book. But I also just want to read. I don't have a limit or a number of pages, but just read another book. Another part where I'm committed is my push-ups have been lacking. But yeah, I say all that to say I've been lacking on commitment, especially health, right? I'm someone who works as a receptionist, and you'll see where I'm going with all this. So a lot of old people come in to the practice, right? I work for a doctor. And one thing I'm just being reminded of is it catches up to you. Your actions catch up to you. I'm also listening to the audio book No Excuses by Brian Tracy, right? One of the things he said, there's different chapters, I'm not sure which chapter he said it on, but he said, the results basically come from actions, and the more you're able to focus on the actions that get you certain results, the more you're able to determine your future. So that's what I've seen. For me personally, right, where I work, if I come in late, the only thing besides food, there's a place where I can buy food, but to eat at work, it's messy. So I feel like the safest bet is chocolate, right? They sell chocolate. But I've been eating so much chocolate. Firstly, it messes up my stomach. And then, I'm not being faithful to my value of being healthy, right? So I've been lacking in these areas. And what that also leads to is, for some reason, like when I've been slacking on my sleep time, I don't have a sleep time, but since I wake up at 3 a.m. or I want to wake up, I haven't been doing it for quite a while. I normally sleep at 8:30, 8 to 9, like between 8 and 9, I must find time to sleep. But these days I've been staying up, like even yesterday, like I just told myself, you know what, I'm not gonna sleep. Ended up sleeping at about 1, I think. Then, I woke up at 5. It was a mess. The whole thing is off. So, to bring it back to the topic, when I say you have to be all in for God, all in with God, I've realized is you have to, it's been 5 years for me, right, on this walk. I really found the Lord in 2020. And it's 2025. I almost read my Bible for the second time. Been through, I used to go to, 4 church services in a Sunday, right? So there was one at 8:30 or 8 o'clock, one again at 10:30, another one at 3 p.m., then another one at 6 p.m. Different churches. Like, I went to the point of like really seeking God, and I haven't found the Lord, right? I can honestly say I haven't found the Lord. Yes, I know God. Yes, I know enough about Him to fear him and obey him, but I haven't found the Lord, and something in my spirit, in my heart, knows that there's a next level, right? And that next level, honestly, is gonna come from, and this is where I'm at these days, making the choice to obey, to go all in with God. And this is in many areas of my life. I'll start with girls, right? I have to make that choice, right? This is something you have to do as a person. You know, one of my early days, and I know I'm telling many stories, anyways, not even one of my early days. Yeah, but I was still listening to sermons, which I do, right? Not as much, no cap. But I think I don't know what's his last name. I think it's Pastor Allen something. I was flipping through Christian YouTube channels like on DSTV. So, you know, your Emmanuel TV. I forgot the others, right? But he was saying, you know, it was like a short clip, but he was saying, you know, as much as God is powerful, God is limited. And you'd say how? What I mean by that is God, he doesn't go against his word. So the Bible says, resist the devil and he shall flee, which is, I don't know where that verse is. James 4 verse 7, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, but he was saying, the Bible says you must resist the devil and he will flee. God can't resist the devil for you. And that stuck with me, and I bring it back to girls. I have to make the choice daily, right? Because we have to die to ourselves daily. You know, I'm someone who, I feel like it's just so natural. You see an attractive girl with a nice body. You want to look at her body. You want to look at her booty. Even though, like, you know, you're probably not going to smash. You have no even intention of lusting after her. But because she's attractive, you want to look at her. And sometimes for me, it's like, I don't have to look at her booty. Like, there's some girls, like, yes, they're nice, but then I question myself, why am I even looking? You know, I was just at, where was it? I was at Cresta Mall today, Click specifically. And I'm in line, you know, there's a girl behind me with her boyfriend. She had a banging body. Like, she was not slim thick, but like thick in a nice way, right? She was wearing a long dress, so her body was showing. Whole underwear was showing. TMI. There was another girl in front of me. She wasn't as nice, but like, I was just thinking to myself, it's like, you know what? I'm not gonna approach either of them, because with me, I won't lie, I'm not scared of approaching girls. The honest truth is, though, I kind of, even though I don't know what my wife looks like, I kind of have an idea. So in my mind, if I see you as a girl and you're coming off as like maybe too sexual, or I don't know, I just feel like we're not gonna get along, or you're just not someone I'd want to wife up. You're not my age bracket, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I already know I'm not gonna approach you to try wife you, right? So it's like, why even, you know, yes, you know, I get it, you know, you can look at people, appreciate another human. But like, why even go out your way to try look, you know what I'm saying? For me as a brother, right? Why go out my way to try look? You know, in my heart, I won't lie, there's times where you feel like you're missing, I won't say missing out, but yeah, it's missing out. And it's a feeling I don't understand. I remember me and, I'd say specifically Bwaga. there was a conversation we had on some, why is it that maybe you out and about and you see a nice girl, you don't really plan on approaching her, but once you let her go, right, you know what I'm saying, something in you is like you missed out, something in you is like you should have approached her. Then you question that, it dwells on you that I should have approached her but I didn't, even though you weren't looking to approach her. So that's what I feel at times. I feel like there's missing out, but my logical mind is telling me I'm not missing out. My logical mind is saying she's not your wife. Yes, she's attractive, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna work. But why do I feel that, like a void? You know what I'm saying? So I just have to, at the end of the day, make the choice to not look at certain girls. Yes, it's always good to look, and I say good like to appreciate another human's beauty. Girls will always be attractive to me as a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then there's a point where it's like you're looking too much. You know what I'm saying? Like another, I have to be all in when it comes to girls. Another point I have to state is where I work. Right now, I'm thinking of this one sister, right? She doesn't work in my shopping center, but she works around me, right? Certain Woolworths. She's older, but she is attractive, and it's starting to grow on me, right? She's always been attractive. So what I mean by that, like, I remember first time seeing her. Yes, she's attractive, but like I didn't take it in. But now it's growing on me, and it's not something I can control, right? I don't know why her attraction is growing, but she's getting, and she pretty much stayed the same. Like, it's not like she's getting hotter, right? But yeah, like, her attraction is growing on me, and she's really attractive to me. But the reality is, she looks like now I'm 26, she could be 36. She's still nice, yellow bone, slim, thick, just gorgeous, you know what I'm saying? Like, beautiful. But like, I'm like, I've been, like, it started off, I wasn't greeting her. I don't know what was also going on with me. Like, I don't know why, like, I gave her, like, the cold shoulder. But, like, I've been greeting her these days. And I know it's not going to lead to anything. But, like, these are the things I have to wrap my mind around and to also dismiss. I'm like, you know what? She's attractive, yes. But I'm not going to wife her. Honestly, like, I just don't. It won't work. And I feel like even if she was into me, it will be a little bit weird, her being as old as she is. I don't know, it just seems like, like, she also doesn't give off. One thing I know that I'll know when I'm around my wife is certain girls give off being saved, right? I'll say they give off Christianity. They give off a presence that, what, I'm saved. I live for God. And she doesn't give that off. She's still attractive regardless. So for me, it's been just accepting, okay, she's attractive, but accepting just that, like, okay, she's attractive. I think I'll always, depending on how much she changes, like, looks play a big part. That's why I'm even noticing her. So I can imagine, like, if she had to get bumped, God forbid, or her face was messed up, she was in a wheelchair, that would really change my attraction. I won't lie to you. But yeah, like, as far as I know, she's always going to be attractive for me. Or, yeah, attractive for me, right? Yeah, she's going to be attractive for me. For me now, it's just accepting that and just moving on some, okay, I find her attractive, but nothing can happen. Many other older girls I find attractive. I mean, it just won't work. Some girls have children, but like my heart, I just see that for some reason it works in favor of certain women, and I can't explain it. Like how I'm saying, her attraction is growing. I can't explain it honestly, because she still looks the same as she's always looked. Yeah, so it's just been accepting that, okay, yes, I find certain girls attractive, but there's there's never anything that can come from it. I was on the dating apps, Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, and I made a decision to get off. And for me personally, not that, you shouldn't be on there as a Christian, because I feel like Hinge is very safe, if I can put it like that, because it shows you if you're a Christian, you're meeting another Christian. Anyways, for me though, I'm like, why am I really on these apps? Am I really there looking for my wife? And the answer is no, because when I be swiping, most of the attractive girls are not saved, honestly. The saved girls are not that attractive. And when I look at things, it's like most people, I think, right? Most girls are there to hook up, right? Are there for a short term but a long term thing. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't feel like it's a good place. Yes, I feel like, don't get me wrong, I can still hop back on there. But at the same time, I just feel like giving likes, going through that whole process is unnecessary right now for me. It's like, I've even decided, as far as I want to be locked in with God, to be like, you know what, let me take time away from Instagram, because Instagram also, I see that I want to be on there for the woman. I won't even lie to myself. So and you know what I'm saying? Also the friends I have on Instagram don't really hit me. So it's like, there's not much of a use for it. The statuses I post, they're mostly viewed by brothers. Yes, certain girls probably view my statuses, but they're hidden, so I don't know. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, let me just take a break from women. Like, why not take a break from women trying to pursue women just for a year? Because at the end of the day, like, as a believer, I believe in no sex before marriage. So whether I decide to take the break or not, I'm still not supposed to sleep with any woman. So let me just take a break from women. It's funny, being on semen retention, I think that's a big cause for it, right? But yeah, I've been getting mad women attraction. Like, women are, and it's because I haven't been so consistent in upholding my values. I was just feeling kind of down, because I'm like, I know I can do better. You know what I'm saying? With every area of my life, I know I can live more enthusiastically for God, right? But like, women are still finding me attractive. Like, there was a lady at Woolworths, and how she was looking at me, like she was, and I believe I'm attractive, right? But like, yeah, she was like looking at me like, yeah, I'm attractive. I can't explain it to y'all, but like, it reminded me, okay, I'm attractive. But then again, I'm like, okay, it's like, I can't run away from woman attraction. But as far as on my side, if I'm gonna be with one woman out of like, I said 9 billion the other video, but like there's 7 billion people apparently. Obviously, there could be more. It's like most women should be friends, or, what I'm saying, just another woman, because it's like, and I've really been not running into women that I'm like, okay, this could be wifey. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, most women are attractive, yes, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not into you like that, so it is what it is. Otherwise, I just be trying to sleep around, which is not the way to go. You feel me? Yeah, so with women, to be all in with God, like I've decided to really take a break from chasing women, following women, all this, just trying to focus on women because it's natural for us as men, right? And also, I was watching a video where it was by Russell Branson or Branson, I'm not sure how you pronounce his surname. Basically, he bought a rare book which was explaining that most men get rich by 40 and peak by 50, you know what I'm saying? Because that's when their sex drive, their libido has slowed down. So they are really focusing on what's important, and that's setting up systems for money. I feel like, in just following God, that helps you a lot because you avoid all the traps of sleeping around, which is like wasting your time, your potential. So yeah, a lot of men get rich by that time because now they finally seeing what's important. With me, I was like, the reality is I should have been rich a long time ago. It's just that I haven't been faithful to what the Lord demands from me. And that is no sex before marriage and no touching yourself, no corn. If I had really been 5 years, and that's little, just imagine, like, I can just imagine what I would have done with my life. I live with no regrets, but like, now that I'm able to see, I'm like, okay, I can't continue falling into the same trap, right? So it's like, okay, take a break from girls, no corn, no touching yourself, no entertaining girls where you don't see them as wifey, you know what I'm saying? Lock in. And that's going all in with God for me, right? Like, honestly, also for me, it's like getting my lust under control, As I say, today is the 14th day. Yes, I've been tempted just by seeing certain women. Yeah, it's funny. I even have to mention, right? At my church, I'm thinking specifically of two attractive women, like, and one of the women stays around me, and I've seen her jogging. She just has, her body is tea, if I can put it like that. Like, wow, she's even like her overall, like you can tell she's older, so maybe her face is a bit more mature, I'll say it like that. But like, she has a banging body, something she can't hide. And there's also just another attractive woman at church. But yeah, it's like, through it all, for me, it's just like, okay, accept these things, but like, don't be looking at the booty. Like, I don't need to really. So it's like, okay, be locked in, be all in with God, right? And like, me also being all in, yes, I might get tested, but I just have to stay faithful, and that's where my value comes in of I am committed. Funny thing I have to mention, right, to anyone who's watching this video. Another thing Brian Tracy says on No Excuses, he says, and this was a quote by Aristotle, if I'm not wrong, which is like a philosopher. He was saying, all advancement in society begins with the development of the character of the young, right? And it's like how this happens. And yeah, he further explained, that was the quote. Then Brian Tracy further explains, like, improvement in your life starts by practicing, learning, and repeating or values, right? Starts by practicing, learning, repeating values. And I had said values before I came into that knowledge. But I understand why progression does come from values. Because as I say, every time now I make a choice, whether I'm buying anything or I'm eating anything, I look at the value that I am healthy. Are people around me, based on how I live and how I'm eating, saying Duduzi is healthy? Because you also have to be associated with your values, right? I'm someone who's also associated with polo. One of the, like I was thinking, one of the things about me is like, okay, they could be like Duduzi, he loves God, it's polo. If y'all know, I'm a rapper, I'm tapped in with the music. But yeah, so it's also developing these, like, oh, he's healthy, he's committed to whatever he's doing. You feel me? So that's the area of girls. Another area I feel like I have to be all in with God is also, I'll just say, is the Bible, right? For me, reading the Bible is very important. I feel like I really understand, especially I'm reading the New Living Translation right now, right? The NLT. So I really understand it as much as I'm comprehending the Bible. For me, now it's just practicing, right? Like I said this in another video. I said it in another video, but like what I've realized about the Bible, or I think I was saying it in this video, is it's not about reading it, it's about practicing it. And this is also in James 1 verse 22, if I'm not wrong. Don't just be a reader or a hearer of the word, be a doer. So all that I read now, like I want to be able to practice it. Today I'm reading Ephesians 5. I'm supposed to read Ephesians 5, 6, and then I think it's the first chapter of Philippians. In Ephesians 4 or 5, right? It was talking about, I think it was 5, because I remember reading this at work. It was talking about let not sexual immorality, impurity, or greed even be named among you as God's people. So most of the Bible verses, I won't lie, refer to sexual immorality. So that's an area I have to be most disciplined in. And I've realized also with the brothers around me, lust is a big thing to overcome, right? We also have urges as men. We produce a lot of testosterone. So for me, it's been really being committed to not sleeping around. I mean, not even giving girls, like they mustn't have a hint of Mtuduzi was low-key hitting on me. I don't want them to ever have that. You know what I'm saying? It's like Mtuduzi is one person, but then, hey, his lust is also, you know what I'm saying, out of control. Which is, I don't blame brothers, because it's like Nana the Soul made a video. He said, lust is the final boss. And really, for me, that's what I've realized. I've quit every habit, right? It's a little bit hot. Okay, let's get it. I've quit every habit in terms of weed, or every vice for me. Weed, drinking, lean, alcohol, you know what I'm saying? What else? Those were really my vices. Energy drink, I've put it down on the 7th of August. But this corn lust, yay, it's a problem. Even though I'm 2 weeks in, like, and I've seen it also with the men around me, it's a problem. So for me, that's an area that I have to be extra committed in, because I feel like once you are disciplined in that, the Bible, I won't say it's quite easy, but like for me, then it's working on, the Bible talks about always being gentle, always being kind, being forgiving, being patient. Which I find that, yes, it's not that easy, but it's not like sexual immorality, right? So for me, it's just really about going all in with God. For me personally, I was at a stage where I went from, my clothes being old, dirty, like it's not impressive clothes, to really having, like, now in my closet, if I buy another jersey or top, I won't really have space to put it in, like, and I can't be like, because I still live at home, like, now I need more closet space. Like, I've really got so much clothes. Like, I've spent a lot of money. For me, I look at it also as an investment, but I spent a lot of money on clothes. God has blessed me, allowed me to have a lot of clothes, right? Yeah, like, but for me, going all in with God, like, yes, I won't even lie to myself. I've become so associated with polo. Most of my thinking is, I know they see I'm wearing polo, I have to have an item of polo. I won't even lie to y'all. But, like, I feel like being locked in with God is now transcending. Because, yes, I've always wanted good quality clothing. I've always wanted to, like, I looked at other believers and I saw the example of believers are wearing Gucci. They're wearing nice, you know what I'm saying? So it's like God is blessing them with both spiritual blessings and materialistic. Like, they have money and they living right. So I feel like I'm at that point in other people's eyes, right? Where I've got the material down. And I do. But now I want to transcend. And when I say transcend, I mean, yes, I want the clothes, but I don't want it to be about the clothes. I always want, when someone asks or they say, man, because I do get complimented, right? Quite a lot. So I always want to give the glory back to God. And He really deserves it, because the Lord has taken me far, like, from what I was. It's like, that's why for me, I feel like I'll forever be with the Lord, because yes, I've gotten to a position right now, right? Now that I am working, now that I've got all the chains I have, you know what I'm saying? Even though they're not real, but like the ring as well as the watch, which are real. Now that, like, I'm seen as someone, and I know I'm only gonna go up, you know what I'm saying? As I get more money, now that I've got all these clothes, now that, I've been getting, you know what I'm saying, the barber, shout out Enoch, he's been hooking me up, so the cut stays crispy, the clothes are on point, I'm dripping, you know what I'm saying, I'm just feeling good, I'm looking good, like, now it's taking the gym seriously. But, like, I always want to get to a place where I give all glory and praise to God. And, I've always also had the mindset, because I'm thankful that I went through Dr. Miles Monroe's Kingdom teachings, right? He has about 120 videos, if I'm not wrong. One of the things I picked up is, being a kingdom citizen, you don't own anything. You making Jesus Christ the Lord of your life means He owns your life. So if the Lord speaks to me and says, give this to the next person, I always want to have a mindset that I'm like, no, this one, it costs 100K. No way I'm giving it away. You know what I'm saying? I always want to be obedient. And at the end of the day, like, a situation happened, right? But yeah, I want to say, I always want to be obedient and ready to give as the Lord instructs me. But, like, my aunt was here for quite some time. She was helping my mom out with something, and before she left, she's like, so she has a son, right? And he's about 20 now, right? I'm 26. So, but, like, you know what I'm saying, we're not far off. And yeah, she was like, aren't you taking out any clothing for, you know what I'm saying, the brother? Let me just say it like that. And I felt disrespected, But then again, I was like, the reality is I'm in that position now. It's like the way I switch outfits is like, damn, you've got so many clothes. Can you spare some clothing? So which I did take out some clothing, right? But honestly, the truth is, I was looking at it on some, these were my thoughts on some. Firstly, I don't owe him, right? I don't owe them, even though they're family, I don't owe them anything. Another thing is, the more I'm growing, right, as a person, I'm starting to believe the quote that says, your level of success will never exceed your level of personal development. So with me, right, yes, I'm dripping with these clothes, but the person I had to become, the journey I went through, like with God, to be a person that has all these clothings, right? Like, as I say, I had to cut out, for me, I had to cut out vices. I've cut out so many vices, almost all, you know what I'm saying? I really live for God. Like, yes, I'm not perfect, but like the person that I am, I'd say I deserve these things, right? And I made sacrifices at the end of the day. Like, I even, a lot of these clothings, a lot of these clothes, I spent money recklessly. I won't lie to y'all. So it's like, but at the end of the day, I made the choice to have all these clothes. And God allowed me to have them. But it's because of who I've become, right? So I won't even lie, like I was judging him a bit on some. I remember he came to visit us and just watching how he was going about his life, and he's in a less fortunate position. He wasn't serious on improving his life, which I don't blame him, right? With all of us, with me, it clicked. Once I started knowing God, once I read the Bible, once I got rid of certain things, I was like, you know what, I'm actually behind. You know, I feel like I'm really behind. You know, I'm still living at home. I'm still not supporting myself. I still don't have a career. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I want to get in order. So with him also, I was like, okay, he's still lacking, which he will grow. But then I don't owe him anything, right? So yes, I took out clothes, but like, I feel like, and this was, I was even, you know, all my thoughts, I feel like they pure and they honest. Like, even when I'm judging someone, like, I put it to the Lord, like, Lord, this is how I see things. And that's how I saw him, honestly. It's like, okay, you know what, Lord, I could have taken out a few pairs of clothing, but like, the person he is, for me, judging, right, is like, he's not going to treat them with care. Also, the environment he's in, he won't be able to, because most of this clothing that I have, you have to wash it a certain way. Some of it, you can only wash it with the machine. I know he won't be able to do that, right, to afford that. And this is me buying clothing now that's, you know what I'm saying, quality. Which I don't blame him, right? I was chasing a high level and I got what I was chasing. So, but like, yeah, it's like, I'm in that position now where people look at me like, can you spare clothing? You know, my boss had sent me somewhere, and the car attendant, the brother was like, your jerseys. I was wearing my blue blazer, if you guys know it. But like, he was saying, when you're not wearing it anymore, you must come give it to me. And I'm like, I agreed, obviously. I'm like, to make conversation, like, I don't worry, I've got you. But like, honestly, I don't feel like I'm gonna come to a point where I'm not ever wearing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, I'm not scared to give it away, but like, assessing his motives, he just wants like a free pass. And I feel like I have to be in this position because I get asked a lot, right? Like, still, also a lot of girls ask me for clothes, especially jackets. Like, another story time I told you of, I gave my poncho away to this other girl who ended up ignoring me. I don't regret it, right? But then again, I feel like this has happened before. There's this black jacket I had, oof, from the Fix, black and white. I gave it to this other lady because she's like, yeah, I want it. When I pulled up with it, she was surprised, like, huh? You're really giving it to me? I'm like, you said you wanted it, you know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing I saw with this girl. Like, when I actually gave her the thing, it was kind of like a, yes, I was asking, but not really. And that's what girls do. Like, they ask, but they don't really want it. So now I have to discern that, like, especially like with the brother, like I see that, okay, he sees I'm dripping, like he just wants hey, if this guy can hook me up, he doesn't need it, right? There's also another brother I give a lift. He's an uncle, I'll say that, way older than me. He was like to me, I've been giving him a lift for a long time because I see him, he's really in my walk of life, right? My daily walk of life. So he had asked me for shoes, and there's a pair of shoes that were getting old. I decided to give it to him, to which, you know, he accepted, he wore. But like now, to what I know, for what I know, or to what I know is those shoes, I feel like they ran their course. Which I really wonder how, because they were strong shoes. But that's what he said, like those shoes are finished. Which I accepted, right? But like now he's been on some, you know, yeah, I'm really in need of shoes. Drop a pair of shoes. And now I'm like, okay, I have lots of shoes that I don't need, right? I can really survive with one pair. But I'm like, you don't really need the shoes. Like, I look at his character, I'm like, you don't really need the shoes. So even though I have a lot of shoes, I won't just take out a pair just because you asked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be in a position where if someone genuinely needs something, here I am, Lord. But like, I feel like people don't deserve. I won't even lie to you guys. It's like, you know, Andrew Tate, I really was watching a lot of Andrew Tate. And he always talked about, you know, yes, you guys might see him as an elitist because he often looks at people that he went to school with and he's like, y'all are still in this position, y'all never tried. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can I just give you money? Or, you know what I'm saying? And with me, that's what I'm also realizing. It's like, so sad to say it, and this might be a misjudgment, brothers on the street, you know, like people in general don't deserve these things. It's like they're not working on themselves. That's why I always believe the verse that says, seek first the kingdom and all these things shall be added. Because if you really seek first the kingdom, right, and you fix your character, you do things right by God, how I'm also trying to do, right, you know, I'm fixing my life, I'm getting rid of all sexual impurities. I'm really seek, you know, I was playing Bible verses yesterday, and I was almost midnight. I was feeling a little bit scared. I won't even lie to you. Played Bible verses. You know, one of the verses I remember, it said, you will find me if you seek me with all your heart. How many have found God? Yet he clearly says how you will find me. Like how I was also saying, I haven't found God. I know that there's a next level and I know what I need to do. So a lot of people are not doing these things, and you can't cheat the process. And especially because it's me, like brothers, I see a lot of people are impure, so they think they can get like an upper hand on me. You know what I'm saying? It's like they think they can get things free, and it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, God blessed me with these things. God has put me in the position he has put me in. Yes, I am humble about it, but like I won't play myself. I won't allow myself to feel guilty for having. Right now I have, you know, I'm in a position of having. And I won't feel guilty for it, right? Even with money, it's like I won't just, yes, I'll give money. I really listen to the Spirit. But like I won't just give you money because you feel like you have money, I don't, give me money. It's like, it doesn't work like that. It's like, I've been also, I follow Brian Tracy's channel. And with him, he often goes live with his kids, right? Maybe often four at a time. So it's maybe him and his two sons and his daughter. Or I think he has two daughters. You know what I'm saying? They just swap. And one of the things he always says is, don't focus on the money, focus on the value. Money comes from value. What value are you adding? And that's what I've also seen. It's like, not that people are unfair. Like you can have the wrong mentality on rich people. Yes, there are rich people who did bad things to get there. But at the end of the day, they deserve it because they did the bad things, right? But also, I've seen that money comes from value. The reason my boss is richer than me is because he provides value, and that's being a doctor. So many people come to him because they don't have the answers. He has that value. So it's not for me to be jealous of him. Now it's for me to see games, to see clearly that Duduzi, you have to have skills, you have to have value. And even with rappers, right? Their value is their music, it's rocking the crowds. You have to have value, and the more value, the more money. It's like there's no need to be jealous. Anyways, I say all that to say, yeah, that was a whole rant. But I'm gonna pick it up here on some women. Money, it's, you know what I'm saying? I have to tighten up the way I spend money. I have to stop being reckless. I was just writing down my expenses today. And like almost half my salary is going, like, and most of these expenses, it's I don't need them, right? Or I won't say I don't need them, but like, for example, my doctor, my dentist, she put me on Almex, right? Because my teeth were sensitive. And now it's the most expensive. I think they could be more expensive, but the most expensive brand. Like toothpaste is 100 rand, mouthwash is 130, and I'm buying maybe 2 of each a month. So that was like 400 and something, almost 500. And thing is, yes, if I do need it, I don't mind making the sacrifice. But if I don't, let me just change to another brand. And, I remember when I was still using Colgate, the one we use at home, it's 20 rand a Colgate. So it's like, if you can imagine, 20 to 100. And I'm the only one using that product, so I have to go all in. So it's like, not spending impulsively, sticking to a budget, being trusted with money. Like, I blew so much money this month. Some of my money I even took out from my inheritance. I got part of my inheritance. I took money out of it. So I'm like, how's God gonna trust me with money when I'm making all these decisions that are poor? Honestly, it's time to lock in. I have to be someone who spends wise, who spends on budget. And also, like, another thing I've realized is I have to be not of this world. And what I mean by that is, it came to me as I was talking about spending money. A lot of things, you'll be judged for them. So like me sticking to eating healthy, me not going out clubbing, me not really entertaining girls. To women, it would be like, what's wrong with this guy? He's really living a celibate life. Like, I have to take all that judgment, all that being made fun of, because I want to live for God. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to be serious. Like, I can't be, I want to kind of fit in, but I really want to live for God. Rather live for God. Like, the mindset I keep having. And this came from, there's a lot more to talk about, but I see the time and we're already on 54 minutes, right? But like, I had went to this one party, right? Let me just end it with this. Maybe I'll come back with the part 2 if y'all requested. I had went to this one party with Boaga. It was an event, actually. It was YX23. So youth, like a youth day event. It was at Constitutional Hill. What ended up happening is, okay, we get there, they allow smoking, they allow drinking. So, it was packed, guys. Like, the women there were gorgeous. That was on the 18th of November 2023. And I remember specifically Saturday, right? Because that's the last time I smoked. And I smoked, let me just say it, like, Boaga, he came with a blunt, right? Some top level weed. I smoked with him. I was planning not to smoke. But when I got there, I was like, let me just smoke. I smoked a couple of hits, and I'm someone who's stoned for long. So, like, maybe 2 or 3 puffs really got me. And I was tripping in a way. And for me, it was just like everything seemed so dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It's like I hit the blunt. Then I wake up to the realization that, you know what? I'm really surrounded. There's really a lot of people we don't know here. There's drinking. People are drunk. People are smoking. So it's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's really... It's really, you know what I'm saying? We're in a dangerous place, right? There's another girl who approached us. And funny thing is, right, before she approached us, Candice Modisele was speaking, right? If you know Candice, she's a believer. And she was saying, guys, make connections, get to know people. So... after that, she gets off stage, I smoke. So this girl, she approaches us and we're like, yeah, what's going on? And she's like, nah, they were talking about make connections. I'm trying to make connections. How you guys doing? What's up? But like I sensed this, she was smoking a cigarette. This bad vibe, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, I'm judging her, but like at the time I was high, like she had this darkness to her. So I'm like, yes, Candice did say that, but like, nah, I don't trust you, you feel me? Yeah, that happened. Shakes and Les, right? They were playing a DJ, 2 DJs, they were playing a set. I don't know, it just seemed like it was so intense. The brothers were really rocking. It was like, I don't know, like, damn, this is real, Then one of the things that happened is, I was like, I was feeling anxious. I'm like, you know what, let me open the Bible. But I'm like, should I open the Bible at the event? This was the phone Bible. I'm like, dudes, come on. You're scared to open the Bible. I opened the Bible. I go to Isaiah 54, verse 17. Because I was feeling that anxiousness, and the verse says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and any tongue that rises against you shall condemn. This is the inheritance of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is from me. If I'm not wrong, right? I'm big on learning verses. I read a couple verses after that, and it was talking about, if I'm not wrong, how I remember it, it talked about like just putting yourself in a dangerous environment, that the Lord didn't put you. So I'm like, you know what, we came to this event, you know what, it just seems dark. Like it really, obviously when you hide, things are enhanced, and I had taken some time from smoking. I was really done before I quit. Like I think, if I'm not wrong, it was years, maybe 1 or 2 years before I smoked that last blunt on the 18th of November 2023. It's about to be 2 years, baby, as I wrap this video out. So I'm like, you know what, this event, and you know, there was a lot of women, and you could just see it's like the vibe is sexual. There's no, I wanna wife you. It's like, and I understand why people have that saying now, you met her at the club, you met her out, you met her in the street. It's like the vibe there is just, it's sexual. There's no, oh, you're my wife. It's like, yeah, I'm attracted to you, you're attracted to me. What's popping? It's lustful, right? All of this going on, I'm like, you know what, Bwaga, my dog, we should leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should leave. And for him, right, he kind of took it as like, what? You want to leave? I'm like, you're not seeing this, bro. Trust me. Like, I'm ahead of you spiritually. We gotta leave. And you know what I'm saying? To what happened, right, was we ended up leaving. Then he went back on his own, but he didn't tell me about it. Like, the next day we were talking about what happened at the event, and he was like, yeah, I went back. And I'm like, I felt betrayed, because I was like, why did you even leave? You should have just been like, I'm not dipping, you tripping, you can go. Anyways, me getting that you should leave, right, that vibe. Robert Boy was there, Candice Modisele was there, and they both believers, right? What I saw, or what my mind witnessed, was they showed up to the event, you know, they did their speeches, they were booked, obviously. They took pictures with people, you know, they're famous, and they left. So what I comprehended was, you know what, they did what they had to do. The Lord was with them, they left. Why am I still here, right? So the mindset I have now, right, in my walk with God, it gets hard, you know, it's very rocky. But like, I want to have this mindset, and I think I really imagine myself at work, right? Or I was thinking today, observing myself from a third person. I want to be that guy that, you know, Duduzi, he showed up, he was always dripping. You know, rapper or not, like, he was just a dedicated guy to God. He always talked about God. He did things right, you know, like, there was no sexual misconduct, there was no lust. Like, he tried his hardest, he walked with the Lord. So that when the day comes, if it's such an ending where, like, all the believers disappear and people are left on earth who did wrong, right? Like, if you look at the movie, I forgot the movie's name, but like, where like people just disappear, then people are left on the earth. Like, what's going on? Where are the people? So if it's a situation where people are taken up, all who believed in God, and those who are sinning stay, I want them, and this is my perspective, I want someone who is a sinner to be like, you know what, Duduzi's gone, but like, yeah, he deserves it. Like, or, right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want that, he deserves it. Like, he did right. Yo, now I'm in this position. Like, I didn't believe him. He really deserves it. He was a child of God. Another mindset I have is, you know, I want, and this also, like I said it in other videos, it came from also a perspective of, you know, fellow believers have done me wrong. And I felt like, you know what, I wonder what's going to happen on Judgment Day. But regardless, I want, if there's a situation where the Lord comes back, I want for me to be with the Lord, and everyone who sees me standing by the Lord is on some, no lie, like he deserved it. Look what he did. Like, he told us, he put in the work, he deserves to be there with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want that perspective. If I look at myself third person, I want, like, yeah, I'm Duduzi. He really gets to sit down with Jesus Christ. Look at his life. You know what I'm saying? And that's all in with God, all in and nothing, all in with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, guys, that's my perspective, and I really believe, you know, people have heard God's voice. God speaks to people. I really can find God, and I know that God wants me to find him. So this is my message on how I feel like you should be all in with God. There's a lot more to talk about, but like, believers, anyone who is not a believer, I feel like we should be living for the Lord, and let's not mess around. Like, it seems judgmental for me to say, my bad, but like, I get afflicted when I see other believers. I'm like, you guys are not really living for God. You know, I always compare myself. I won't even lie to people. I'm like, it doesn't seem like they fully sold out for God. And obviously I have much work to do on myself, but like, this should not be a reality. Like, we should all be like competing, you know what I'm saying? Like, run in such a way as to win the prize. That's what the Bible says. So it must be like, I must be inspired. Like, I can't be like, except for like one lady I was just telling you about in my church. She's very attractive. That's why I noticed her firstly. But I could say she looks like she's living for God. You know, she also dresses nice. She changes clothes like it's nothing. That's like what I also aspire to do. But because she's a lady, I doubt, you know what I'm saying, the moralness. I won't even lie to you, because she's a female. But it has to be at that level where, like, what I wanted to say is, I don't know when's the last time I was inspired by a believer. Like, damn, like, I'm not living right. Like, it's been a while. So I have to become that person, and I have to transcend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, it's your boy, man. It's almost 6:15 on my watch, PM. Yeah, if you like the video, drop a like, comment. If you wanna say anything, subscribe if you feel led. Hope this helped you. I'm out. Peace.